So we've gone straight from zombies to mind control. Gotta try all those tropes out while we're at it, right? This episode's a weird one. Because on the one hand, it's actually pretty character significant. Because Anakin gives into the dark side for a few moments in order to accomplish a greater good. Now that's the thing that really intrigues me about this. And this is something that I've always liked the idea of, and to be blunt, Star Wars has never really followed through on the concept of the idea of the capacity to use the dark side for good, and of course the light side for evil. Now, obviously, that shouldn't be the norm, but I do like the idea of extenuating circumstances or unique perspectives. I used to hold the idea, I shouldn't say used to, I still hold the idea that the Force is not innately good or evil, even though I know that's the original intent, and that the dark side is evil and wrong, and the light side is good and right, but whatever. So the idea that Anakin is able to use the dark side to accomplish a greater good, I kind of like that. It adds a little shade of nuance to the situation. Because on the one hand, we're afraid because Anakin has just delved directly into the dark side. They even play his frickin' theme when he's doing it, as he chokes Poggle the Lesser. But on the other hand, that information saved several lives. What else do I have to add to that? Oh, by the way, I figured out why I couldn't think of her name, Barris's name. It's because when I think of Barris, I think of another character who's more male, more large, and a few thousand years ago. But anyways, I did like the dynamic between the two. I also like the tiny little character tidbit, and I wish they did more of this, with Ahsoka commenting on how she just can't sleep in the quiet because the quiet is bothering her because of how much she's used to war. There's so much that could be done with that. The idea of becoming acclimated to combat, acclimated to warfare. Literal PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome. There's some ideas there, there's some concepts there that I think would be interesting if analyzed. And in fact, right, they even continue it briefly before they get into the mind control plot, with them talking about what are we going to do after the war. We will keep the peace, but will we do so as warriors or not? And what's the difference, right? There's some good topics there and some good philosophy there that they immediately get rid of for the mind control plot, which is gross. I don't have anything to add to the mind control plot, but that is gross. It was nice seeing Kit Fisto again. No, I'm being dead serious. Kit Fisto always kind of strikes me as someone who is one of the most competent of the Order Jedi. I think I mentioned that before. And this is another good example of this. No, you're going to go ahead and dock with us. We're going to do everything we can to prevent this infection from spreading. We're going to do a controlled response. And I like that, because that's what a smart person would do, right? I mean, granted, there's the, lock it away and throw it into the sun argument. And then there's the, screw it, we'll make it work argument. And both of those are kind of opposite extremes. And Kit Fisto's right in the middle of, okay, we're going to try and have a measured, controlled response to this catastrophe and hope we can make this work. And that just appeals to me. I don't have anything else to add to that. I also like how I wish there had been a little bit of a thing at the end there where Ahsoka, who was weirded out and wigged out about whether or not she made the right choice or not, versus Anakin, who feels completely certain. Like, I get this impression that Anakin is completely at peace with his choice to use the dark side to get the information. Whereas Ahsoka is torn up about the idea that she almost did things wrong, basically because of sentiment. It's an interesting idea. And of course, the quote at the beginning of the episode really stuck with me, too. Which is why I can't remember the exact phrasing. It was, attachment does not mean compassion. That's what it was. And it's an interesting concept, although that gets into a little bit of a gray area, which we're not going to cover. And then mind control stuff happens. I have nothing to say about the mind control stuff. There's mind control stuff. It's gross, it's weird, and it's mind control-y. And the end. That's all I got. Hope you've enjoyed. See you next time.